Hey guys, Simon Davis here, Zone Trader. This is part 2 of Forex Gold. I did part 1 the other day. Good feedback, people really enjoyed it. So I thought I would do part 2 and fill in a few gaps that I left out and do a bit of analysis for the week. But there's risk in Forex and stuff, so don't take my word for it. Okay. So, as you can see here on the monthly, we're in quite a tight range. Right now. And there's not much going on. It's just took stops here, and it's took stops there as well. So with that in mind, don't really know much right now. So I've cleared out a bunch of stops here. Oh wait a minute. I've cleared out a bunch of stops here, which is pretty good. So going to the weekly. So we're headed down with 918 EMA on the weekly. But I think we're going to head down, personally. Let's see. So what you've got to ask yourself, guys, is where has price been? Where is price now? And then the most important one, where is price heading? So let's go back to, let's move this out of the way. Go back to this one. Because USD CHF, if you know where USD CHF's going, or the dollar index, then you know which direction these four are going, the majors heading. So what I do when I first come on is look at the monthly. If I can't see nothing on the monthly, I'll go to the weekly. But also you can mark out old stuff just to get used to it. So this was a nice setup here on the monthly. You've got order blocks on the monthly because price is fractal, guys. So if you see if you learn order blocks, then it's all fractal. So we went over order blocks in the first video, and turtle soups and breakers and things like that, and run-on stops, like huge run-on stops here, run-on stops here. So you just got to read the market. So I'm just checking out where the price has gone. Can't really see nothing on the monthly. Weekly, price has been here, and it came down, ran stops, came up, ran stops here. Now we're on our way down, then we've run stops here. We could be heading for these lows here, off the order block and up, but we could be heading for these lows. I don't. So the reason why I put lines is to just see where the last stops were ran. Here's an order block candle here, this one here, to set up this move down. We've ran stops here, 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 and here. These four. So with this in mind, you just keep building the picture of where it's heading. So we've got a swing high here, and we've just recently on the weekly come up and ran stops here. So everything's telling me it's going down right now. So we'll go on the daily and see if we can see more on this. So I'll go into this order block here and draw this out. Would have been lovely to catch it on this day. From this day down, nice 100 and odd pips. So price ran stops there, came up, ran stops here into an order block, and now we're heading down. I would definitely say we're heading down. So with that in mind, also on the 4 hour, we have a breaker, what I covered on the last trading video, Forex Gold training video. And then we came down, ran stops below here. I think we're going down still. So nothing's telling me it's going up. An order block here, price ran away from it, came back into it, and on the hour, we're heading down. So you see how I just broke that down from the monthly all the way down to the hour, all the way down to the 15-minute chart. So come Monday, we just got to watch where price goes. There's no clear entry right now. All I see is the hourly order block and the 15-minute order block. And price is 18 pips away from entry. So it's rallied 18 pips away from entry. So we're 18 pips late on getting in on this move. So what we could look for is a retracement back into order block and then down, possibly. But I believe we are heading down, which is a bit strange really, because if you go to, now we know we're heading down on USD CHF, go to, then I go to Euro USD. Let's first check JPY a second. Yeah, I'll go to Euro USD. And then look for buy scenarios and why it's heading up where it's heading. So first, it's target. You've got to find your target of where it's heading. So it's just gone into a mitigation, because it's not really a breaker, because it's not high. It's actually a mitigation, but it works the same principle basically. Like, I'm a bit confused because it's going up. I think because USD CHF is going up, sorry, down. This one, Euro USD is going up, but I don't know where. It possibly on the weekly heading towards this order block. So we've got a monthly breaker and a weekly order block here. So these are our stop levels. What I do is I draw a line, and now I know the price is finished with this area because it's ran stops here, and it's took out these highs. It's just come off an order block here because institutionals bought in this candle, so it came up and back down into it, and then they rebought and it went up again, came back down into it, rebought, and then we're probably going to see a big candle up this week. So with that in mind, guys, we're heading up. You always break these down into smaller segments all the time, break them down as small as you can go. It's the best bet. is a 4-hour order block, but not in the direction of where we're heading. I wouldn't try and sell this, guys, until it broke in market structure. Which it kind of has. So this is why it's quite confusing. We're probably going to go sideways for a bit because the market's unsure of where it wants to go. And if you're not right, if you're not certain, then I wouldn't bother trading. Right, so we've got a high, higher high. And then this candle here is the breaker on the daily. And we've actually gone below the breaker, which means it's setting up for selling. Interesting, because we actually think we're going down on USD CHF, so we can't be. So it is quite confusing right now. And Forex, there is grey areas, and that's the truth. But we are seeing institutionals coming in and buy and selling because they sold in this candle. It came down, came back up, and then dropped, and came back up into this area, came down fast, sold again in this candle. So institutionals, guys, are selling in these candles, and it's come back up to fake out retailers, and the midpoint of this candle is where you'd look to enter, and it doesn't close above. So we are actually finished with our monstrous up move now on Euro USD. Yeah, I am contradicting myself, and I'm open and honest about the contradictory, because if the market doesn't show you clear paths, then yeah, it is unclear. And if it's unclear, guys, don't trade unless you see a clear entry, unless you see a clear breaker or a clear order block and reason for it to move. Don't waste your money. If you're not trading £1 lots, which most people won't be, what I think to myself is, I'm not going to trade unless I'm confident enough to put a pound on, even though I can't put a pound on, and I don't right now. But £1 lot, you've got to think, would I put a standard loss on this trade, even though you're trading pennies, even though you're trading like cents? Would I put one standard loss on this trade? And if your answer is no, then I wouldn't even bother entering the trade. And that's the best way to go about trading, is ask yourself, would you put a standard lot on the trade? So look, guys, we've just gone into an order block as well here. And then you see an order block here. So we're breaking it down, 15 minutes. Order block, rallies down away from the order block. You know it's an order block because this candle gives it away. It rallies fast, that's an order block. And comes back into it, reaccumulates and goes down. It creates another order block, boom, reaccumulates, and then heading down. So guys, I actually do believe we're going down on the Euro USD, and that means CHF, we're not going down. So with that in mind, you would draw that out, obviously. And yeah, we probably would either go up, down, and then up to take out stops here, and then head up. We're done with the down moves on USD, CHF. And we've just took a nice level of stops as well. So it has made sense, and we're on our way up. Like I said the other day, you have a breaker, which would be there, low, lower low, breaker entry. Then you got order blocks. Guys, if this one did meet up with it on the hour, this order block here, came up, rallied away, came back into it, you buy. There's such thing as a ignition block as well. So you've got an order block here and it does not come down to it. If you've seen another downwards candle here and it rallied off it, that is an ignition block. So you can also go off an ignition block as well sometimes. So I think we've mapped out USD CHF and Euro USD quite well right now, which is nice for this week. So with that in mind, guys, USD CHF's going up, therefore USD JPY should be heading up as well. We do see an order block here, price rallied away. It's not very nice because it's wicky, but it's not that wicky because it's fuller price because it's on the monthly. So from the monthly, it's just hit an order block and gone down. And then, like I said, guys, you're always drawing off where you've run the stops. So it's run the stops here, and because of that, we're heading up. So weekly. So you see, why did this move up here? Because of that. So where's price been? Where is it now? And where is it heading? See what we're doing, guys? We're planning. We're marking out the market. So it's been here, rallied off here to fill in the fair value void here, this big gap here, and then created stops here, ran the stops and rallied up. I believe we've got stops resting above here, here, and here to head for. So there's our targets. And this big wick gives it away as well. So it's ran both sides, stops, the minute. But what have we found here, guys? This is what it is. It's just looking for gold. We're looking for ICT tools that I've taught. Low, lower low. What's this candle here, guys? You could use either or, it doesn't really matter. Candle before the down move, so it is this one. This is a breaker, so it's come 1, run on stops, 2, breaking market structure, 3, return to breaker on the daily, guys. So now we know that, drop down to the 4 hour. So we see an order block as well, which is nice. So we're literally breaking the market down time frame by time frame and breaking your order blocks down clearer and clearer. We've literally just run stops on all that there, from here to there. That wick ran the stops. And now we're heading up. Also, guys, we see yet another breaker. 1, 2, and then there's your breaker. So, guys, we're heading up on USD JPY throughout this week. And then we should be heading up on USD CAD. So let's mark out USD CAD. It's dodgy, but it's fine. Right, so monthly looks like it's going down. Then we've got an up week on the weekly. Still looks like it's going down. The EMAs are lagging though, guys. That's what you've got to realize. So I put a line against there and think, okay, where's it ran? It's ran. This is why it came down from above, running these stops, Candyland, twin highs, double top. Boom, ran that, came down. Then it ran them stops there. So it's just the market, the language of the market, guys, ITT language of the market. And now look at that. Okay, I drew that line there. And this kind of, to me, indicates the end of the downtrend. Definitely, once it goes above that, we're heading up, guys. So once it goes above the 1,223.99 on USD CAD, look for buys. And then, like I said, guys, if you're looking for buys, it's round stops here, and it's round stops here. So there's no reason for it to go lower than here now. There's no reason to go back into this area. No reason whatsoever. Drop down to the hourly. Let's make this clearer. Mark out your order block on the hourly and just wait for it. Wait for price on Monday to drop into here and then rally up to take out stops above here and fill in this huge void. So with that in mind, from here, we've got 250 pips to play around with. So that's my analysis on USD CHF as well. Right, so if USD JPY is going up, then Great Britain JPY is going up as well because they follow each other, literally just follow each other around. And as we can see here, the tables have turned on a downtrend on the EMAs, on the daily. It's gone. Wow, what a move. So it's come down and then it's gone up. And then you think, okay, where's it heading to? And you go down to the monthly, mark off your monthly order block, and it's heading to there, guys. So Great Britain JPY, even just the start of that monthly order block, doesn't look like a big gap, guys. That's 300 pips. Into the mid-range is 680 odd pips, which is nice. And then you just say, okay, where's price been? You join these two together, and there's your order block. Reaccumulated the order block there. Into the order block, reaccumulation, boom, away we go. Drop down to the daily. So we're not here anymore, we're actually here, so we've got to find out how we're going to enter here. But obviously, you mark off this one. Yes, okay, I understand this, and I did it as well. You think this is an order block because it rallies down fast, and it is all the characteristics of an order block, and this is why ICT stuff can get really confusing. It really can. But once learned, it's powerful. Like it's one of the hardest trainings to learn, but the most rewarding and the most satisfying as well, because it's not ICT stuff, it's how the banks move, guys. How the market moves, how the banks make the market moves. So it's round stops here, and then order block rallied up. This is a breaker because we've got low and lower low. This is your breaker. That's why breaking market structure here on this day, opened, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Unfortunately, I don't trade Great Britain JPY much because I'm on real money, and wow, it moves fast, so not right now. But eventually I will, and you will as well. So you might already be trading it already, but if you trade it wrong, you know about it. So price came down here. So why did it come down to here, guys? It came down to here to fill in fair value, the mid-range of this candle. So if you pull your fibs, it came to the mid-range of that candle. So that's what they do. Voids either fill in, or if it's in the opposite direction to where it's headed, it'll just fill in mid-range. And you've got a mitigation block here as well. On the 4 hour, that's almost to the pip. It's insane how precise this stuff is. So we are heading up. We have had a big move, and what you look for as well, guys, is which market is in small candles, small ranges, because a range is a candle, or a range can be a long move up or a long move down. It's different size of ranges, it's just fractal. So you just look for the pairs with the smallest ranges. So this pair is like literally huge ranges. So now it's going to go into consolidation, into small ranges, reset, and then carry on towards its target, if you get me. So what you got to do as a trader is look for small ranges and then assess and do analysis and find out which direction it's going to break out of the range market. So you see big candles, little candles, big candles, little candles, then huge candles, you know, little candles, big candles, little candles, big candles in the direction of the daily EMAs. And this is what you look for. So really, I wouldn't want to trade Great Britain JPY for a few days because we've had our monstrous days and now it's going to tighten up a bit and there won't be much range. But with Great Britain JPY, it moves quite fast anyway, so probably doesn't occur to this pair. Hopefully I'm sharing this. Sure, I click the share button 1 second. Yeah. Okay, so we have stops here. So there's nothing really to go by here to get in. There's no order block, no breaker or anything on the 15-minute chart. Drop down to the 5-minute. So price rallied off the 5-minute. Went up into, is this an order block here kind of? Close. An order block there. To rally down. I believe we're going to head down into here, into this order block here on the 5-minute and run stops below here. Price moves if it's running stops 10 to 20 pips, so 20 pips there. What I would do is draw a box and then wait for price to come into this box, which is 20 pip range from running stops. It's probably going to turtle soup and then rally up. Take out stops here. So if you enter just at them stops, stops to stops, lower stops to higher stops, that's 142 pips, guys. That's up for grabs, short term. That's even on the 5-minute chart. That's quite cool. So that's probably what we're going to do. Or it could create a scenario of breaking market structure, create a breaking scenario and fill in the range on a Monday, fill in the void. But you don't try and force the market, you do what the market shows you. If that makes sense. So we've covered pretty much most pairs. I'm not going to do them all because this video will be huge. I want it bite-sized for you guys to digest it, go away and try and find these in your own charts. What I do as a developing trader, what I did as a developing trader and sometimes still do, is put on my template and just go back on price as far as you can. Excuse me. Just go back on price as far as you can and think, okay, if I was in this price at this time, how would I have been able to get into these moves? So even if it doesn't come to fruition, you still draw it off as good practice. So it's probably something we can't see why this setup is breaking market structure, return to breaking market structure down. Then you just literally draw out your order blocks and breakers in the direction of the trend. Even opposite when you get better at it. So there's an order block there and then rallies off. You just train your mind to see these guys. Like I'm drawing the order block there, but it's not really the order block that's actually happened there. It's the breaker, isn't it? Breaker, market structure, return to market structure. So I want you to go away and do this, guys. Mark out your breakers and order blocks on your hourly. Just get familiar with seeing them in your charts, and once you see them, you never not see them. And with knowing the market, the language of the market, run on stops. Kind of a wiki. Order block down, head into from here to run stops. Twin highs, these will probably get taken. See, I didn't know that, but yeah, twin highs, there's evidence that double tops get taken. Ran on stops, hourly turtle soup, away you go. So you get the gist, guys. If you can go back in your charts and do this, it's like staircases, down, 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 reset, up, 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 down, 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 reset, up, up, up. Basically like staircase in the daily direction. Quite normal stuff. Anyway, guys, I hope this has been helpful for you in mapping out the market. You just have to ask yourself 3 questions. Where has price been? Where is it now? And where is it heading? And why is it heading that way? Has it got has it got a target to reach to that the market makers want to run stops on? Okay, guys, thanks for listening. I've been Simon Davis, Zone Trader, and I'll see you on the next video.